All right, so I'm going to go over the first problem for practice number 1. So the problem tells us Pamela can run 9 miles in 3 hours. So the ratio that Pamela has when she runs is 9 miles for every 3 hours, right? This is my ratio, 9 to 3. Now it's asking us how many can she run in 1 hour? How many miles? I think I might have skipped miles, the word miles here. But you guys know what I mean. Obviously, I made some mistakes around. But it's okay. It's okay. You can still understand the problem. How many miles can she run in 1 hour? The ratio is 9 to 3. So something that I want you guys to get in the habit of is that you have a ratio, right? 9 to 3. When you have these kinds of problems, the best thing you can do is find the unit rate. Unit rate is basically like 1 unit. So what is the rate per 1 unit? Which is basically what the question is asking us. How much can she run for 1 hour? We know how much is in 3 hours, but how much for 1 hour? Now, yesterday you guys practiced finding equivalent ratios, right? So basically we're finding an equivalent ratio. How do we get from 3 down to 1, right? If let's say I have a table, this is the miles and this is the hours. Right? And I have my table. I know 1, 2, and 3. That for 3 hours, Pamela can run 9 miles. That is how much she can run for 3 hours. So how much would it be for 2? How much would it be for 1? Well, I know that I can divide 3 by 3 to get to 1, right? But if we do that to one side, we got to do it to the other side. Just like equivalent ratio, right? We're trying to get 3. Please excuse my barking dog. All right, sorry about that. So 3 down to 1. So from 3 to 1, I divided by 3. And if I divided that side by 3, I also need to divide this side by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So this becomes my new ratio, right? And this is equivalent to that because I divided both numbers by the same number. So now I know that for 1 hour, she can run 3 miles. 1 hour, 3 miles. So this is my unit rate, right? 1 unit is 1 hour. For 1 hour, she can run 3 miles. Since I found my unit rate now, my unit rate is 3 miles per 1 hour, that can help me figure out how much she can run for more hours, right? So if she runs for 2 hours, I know she is going to run double the distance, right? For 1 hour is 3. For 2 hours, it's going to be 6, right? Now it makes sense, right? It's 3 per hour. The unit rate is 3 miles per hour. This is my unit rate. This is going to help me figure out how much she can run for more miles. So if she ran for 4 hours, she is going to run 3, 6, 9, 12. Right? And all these new ratios are equivalent to 9, 3. You see? You can go before, you can go forward. Once you find your unit rate, it helps you go before, it helps you go forward, because now you know how much is per 1 unit. All right, our next question. How many can she run in 10 hours? How much can she run in 10 hours? I know that for the previous 2 weeks, we've been practicing writing equations, right? And using the variables to like write an equation. So if I were to write an equation for this, equations are always a good tool to use when you're trying to find bigger, bigger answers, right? For 10 hours, doing a table may make it more time consuming because now you have to extend the table all the way down to 10. But a simple equation can just have you solve it a lot faster. I know drawing a graph, we've also practiced, right? We've 4, and I'm gonna do it 3, 6, 9, right? Drawing a graph for 1 hour is 3, for 2 hours is 6, for 3 is 9. If we keep doing this up until 10 hours, it's gonna make it hard too, because now we have to make a bigger graph. So equations are always the most efficient way to figure out bigger ratios. So I know that for every 1 hour, it's 3. So it's 3 times the amount of hours will give you your miles, right? 3 times the amount of hours will give you your miles, because it's 3 miles per 1 hour. And you can always test it out here. 3 hours equals your miles. 3 times the amount, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. 3 times the amount of hours will give you your miles, right? And you can always plug in any of these numbers for H to figure out how many miles. For example, you can plug in 4. How much will she run in 4 hours? 3 times 4 will give you the amount of miles. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 is the amount of miles. Is that correct? Yes. So now we have 10 hours. This means 3 times 10 will give you your miles. 3 times 10 is 30. So 30 is the amount of miles Pamela will run in 10 hours. So this equation, a lot of you can do it in your head, right? If she runs 3 miles per hour, 10 hours, 10 times 3 is 30. Easy. But also get in the habit of being able to write a really quick equation, because this will help you understand algebra. All right, so just kind of like reviewing what we went over. We drew a table. We found equivalent ratios. And our main thing we did here was find the unit rate, right? How much for 1 unit. Once we found how much it was for 1 unit for 1 hour, it helped us understand how much for more hours. And once we figured that out, we found a quick strategy to figure out how much for 10 hours. But finding the unit rate is really important for this. All right, now you guys can practice the rest of the problems.